Hello, buddy. It's me, Ross, and welcome to another edition of Meet the Opposition. Today, I'm joined by Marc Iles from the Bolton News to discuss all things Bolton. Marc, thank you very much for joining me once again. You, of course, was part of the League One lowdown. Let's talk about Bolton back in League One. How's it been going so far? Your last game, of course, was a goalless draw live on TV against Burton Albion. Paul Cook was in attendance. How are you guys getting on so far?
Yeah, I mean, they're settling in quite well, to be honest. I think anybody that watched the game against Burton will see Bolton are playing some good football, really good football, attractive stuff, possession-based. The only thing that was missing on Monday night was a goal, and probably you could argue that's the only thing that's been missing, really, for Bolton to turn those draws into wins, potentially. They've scored plenty, but it's just those little fine margins they've maybe been missing. I think they're just still settling in, but there's good signs. There's good signs.
Yeah. And let's talk about the team. Ipswich Town transfer window is very busy. I'm sure Bolton was the same. They're back in League One for the first time. Let's talk about this starting 11. Mm-hmm. The key players as well, the players to watch. Take it away.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of big choices for him to make down at Ipswich because against Burton on Monday night, Declan John, who was arguably the first choice left back, was ill. Pulled out the squad. In came Liam Gordon on the left-hand side and played really, really well. So we're led to believe Declan John will be fixed again by the time he gets down to Ipswich. It's a big 50-50 for him there. We've had Josh Sheehan out on international duty. He's been absolutely amazing since he came in from Newport County. A lovely technical ball player in midfield. But again, he was missing on Monday night. Kieran Lee, who's got lots of experience, played at Sheffield Wednesday. He came in, really played well again Monday night. So there's a couple of decisions. And obviously, Sheehan will have been travelling around, went to Belarus, for example, with Wales. So there is that to factor into it. So there's a couple of calls there, just straightforward sort of selection things. But otherwise, it's a fairly settled team, to be honest, Ross. I mean, Bolton have been playing this kind of expansive possession football, and it's taken them a while to really get to grips with it. But you're seeing now down from the kind of reserve team level right the way up, that kind of that ethos is bleeding its way right the way through now. And whereas the first half of last season in League Two, where Bolton were expected to absolutely fly the division, they struggled at first because they'd signed so many players and they were trying to get a different brand of football. And you can see where I'm going with this. That's probably where Ipswich are going this season as well. It's that massive turnover, and then after Christmas you start seeing the results of that. So hopefully it doesn't happen Saturday, but I expect that to happen with Ipswich.
Yeah, and of course we've got a starting 11 scrolling down on the screen. Out of those players starting, you're predicting who's sort of players that will be standout players to watch for Town fans?
Well, Afolayan on the left-hand side of the attack is the main man at the moment. We're talking about him as being, signing of the season, really. He was on loan on the second half of last season from West Ham United, and he'd already been in their first team and scored goals for them as well. So it was quite a coup to get him on a permanent deal, on a 3-year deal in the summer. Since then, he's progressed his game. If there was a criticism of Dapo last season, is that he probably didn't get enough goals. This season, he's already got 3. He's getting in good positions, and his confidence. And you can see it sometimes with players. Once they get that bit between the teeth, they look like a different. They've progressed, and that's what Dapo looks like at the moment. Other than that, the man at the back, Santos, is another one. He had a bit of a rough summer. He had a virus. He had a bit of COVID, and so it's taken him a little bit of time to get himself 100%. But he's looking now back to the player that absolutely swept the boards last year as far as League Two and Bolton's own awards. Big mountainous defender, and he's very much central to what Bolton do.
And you mentioned draws. Of course, we haven't won a game so far. Your opening 2 games were 3-3 draws against AFC Wimbledon and, of course, MK Dons. What sort of game can we expect at Portman Road? Of course, the last time out when we played you, at Bolton, it was a 5-0 win because it was all the kids. But I'm sure this will be a different sort of game. What are you expecting?
I hope it's a different type of game. I have to say it would be a bit demoralising if we went all the way down there for a 5-0. Listen, Bolton haven't won at Portman Road since 2001. It's a long, long time. I've been down there God knows how many times. And though it's always lovely when you get there, it's a hellish trip. And then, to watch the team maybe scrape a draw at very best has always been quite demoralising. But the one thing we'll say about Bolton is even the 0-0 draws this season have been entertaining. So you can guarantee, knowing the way that Ipswich play, it's going to be an entertaining game, full stop. But I think Bolton are in a good place. I think they really are. The performance was absolutely spot on Monday, with the exception of that goal. As you say, Ipswich haven't. There's a bit of pressure on. Let's be honest. There's a bit of pressure for Ipswich to get off. Get that first win on the board, get that monkey off the back. With all the investment and all the signings they've made, maybe it's a good time for Ipswich because they've had the little bit of extra time, of course, with the international break. Bolton coming off a Monday, a very good performance on Monday, will also feel that they can strike while the iron's hot as well.
And of course, the question that is always asked: your prediction, my friend. What do you reckon?
Right. As I've mentioned before, I have made that trip so many times and come back with nothing to show for it. Bolton will bring something back, whether it be a point or whether it bring 3 points. But do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I'm going to say 2-1 Bolton.
Ooh. So the win has to wait for Town then and Paul Cook's side. But Mark, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just like Ipswich fans, let it be known I have gone through this entire little bit of podcasting here without mentioning Barry Knight. So just know that I've done that for you.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to have a safe trip to Ipswich Town.
I go to Bolton first. But...
Yeah, you go to Bolton first, yeah. But yeah, safe trip. And let us know in the comments down below your thoughts going into this game as Town take on Bolton in League One. See you then.